Okay, we started recording, as we are aware, and as you all are aware. And I want to say hello to you. Good evening, good night, good afternoon, whatever it may be. And I would like to start it right off with the Constitution of the United States of America, because of all the things that are happening in America. There's a lot of things going on that I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of. So let's just get right to the point of it. First of all, the preamble states we the people. That doesn't mean them, the government, the people. That means us as American citizens of the United States of America, the people. So I want to clarify that point. Okay, so we've got our First Amendment of the Constitution. The First Amendment is the freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. You saw that thing happen at the Capitol building. That there was a form of petition. It was a form of assembly. What Twitter done, in my opinion, taking Donald Trump off of its platform and banning them, I think that was totally wrong. That's my opinion, though. I got the freedom of speech, so therefore I use my freedom of speech with my opinions to put that on there. Okay? Another reason why I'm bringing this up is because of the fact that there's not just them that's corrupt with that government up there. There's also children's services corrupt. And I'll explain that a little bit more. I got a friend who just recently they told her that she'd have to have her kids removed, even though there was no real reason for her kids to be removed. So this is the reason why on this one. Fourth Amendment, search and seizure. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Upon probable cause. You hear that, right? They have to have a reason, or a suspicious reason, a very good suspicious reason, to be able to come into your home and remove your kids, or to be able to come into your home. And they have to have a search warrant. They cannot just enter your home and search without having that warrant. You can get them in trouble and get them fired. And that includes everybody, not just CPS, not just police officers. Everybody that tries to come into your home and search it, you can get them fired. The Fifth Amendment, grand jury, double jeopardy, self-incrimination, due process, and takings. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces, which means military, when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Meaning, if you go and take somebody's property, you'd better pay for it. Otherwise, it's considered stealing. It's theft. And if you have your kids removed and there's no reason for them to remove the kid's part of your property, they can't just remove them. They can get in trouble, and you can go straight to the grand jury on that point, because of the fact that if you don't go to the grand jury, then you're going to lose somehow, unless you have a really good attorney, because they are not allowed to go in and just take your kid for the hell of it without having a proper reason. Okay, so we figured out proper reason. We've also figured out that's the probable cause, proper reasoning. They also have to have the search warrant to make sure that everything's okay in that home. Even if a judge grants it, they still have to have the search warrant. They have to make sure that they don't take your kids without those two things: a search warrant and probable cause. Very good reasoning. Because they're your property, you can actually get them in trouble because they didn't take you to court for it. Guess what? That's a lawsuit against them. You have to be taken to court in order for your kids to be removed, and they have to have good evidence. And in this case, my friend's case, they don't have no good evidence. They got shit. I'll just tell you that right up front. Any person nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself or herself. That means you have the right to be hushed. You don't have to say a word that could harm you. If you got something to say and you know it could affect you, you can keep that hushed because it states it right in our Constitution, in our amendments. And it's really upsetting me because of the fact that these assholes ain't following the amendment the way they should be. Amendment number 2. You've seen this shit on the NRA going bankrupt today, right? Excuse me, I didn't have that all the way in. I didn't realize that. The NRA, okay? They're going and filed for bankruptcy somewhere. The Second Amendment, Joe Biden, if you ask me, and I've already read a report, he wants to take our taxes and hike them up, which I think that's a bunch of bullshit. He don't need to do that. And he also wants to take away our guns. Why would that man want to take away our guns? Is he scared? In my opinion, I think he is scared. Because nobody should be wanting to take away one person's gun from their home. And he ain't going to win on that case. That's for sure. Because our Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Means you cannot remove a person's weapons out of their possession. It cannot be infringed. It says you've got the right to keep and bear arms. As a person, you've got the right to keep and bear arms, and it shall not be infringed. If that gets infringed, you can automatically take them to court for their constitutional break. Because that's what they call that. It's a constitution break. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you the reason why Amendment number 25 did not work against Donald Trump. Excuse me. See if I can find it here. Oops, that ain't it. That's 20th. Whoop. Dang. I'm starting to get sleepy. My fault. I apologize for that. 25th Amendment. Presidential disability and succession. This is the reason why number 25 doesn't work for Donald Trump. Because he's there all the way in the brain. This was passed by Congress July 6, 1965. Okay? A few months before my dad was born. Section 1. In case of the removal of the president... Oh, come on. Quit playing around. In case of the removal of the president from office or of his death or resignation, which means if he backs off, he gets shot, or if somebody goes and removes him out of there, the vice president shall become the president. Come on now. That automatically tells you that if Donald Trump gets booted out of the White House, guess who the next person is to take over? That's right, Mike Pence. Not Joe Biden yet, Mike Pence. But the reason why that didn't work is because he is mentally stable and he knows what he's doing. And if you ask me, a lot of the things that are going on with this situation... Okay, answer me this question. This is a good question. A lot of people have said... A lot of people have said that Joe Biden has won the election. Okay? Think of it like this. Donald Trump's in the lead. Okay? Let's say you're running for president. You're in the lead for that presidency. when you go to bed. You wake up and your opponent is beating you, knowing that the polls close around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, or 8 o'clock. And they're usually calculated by 10. Either A, somebody snuck in there and screwed up the machinery, or B, somebody went in there and swapped out the voter bills, the actual voter papers. Because there's no way that when he was in the lead, he automatically lost. No way in the world. It's not possible. Can't be done. So I want to clarify that point. That point can't be done. It's impossible. You can't wake up, you can't go to bed winning and end up losing. Plus, have you seen his rallies? Have you seen Joe Biden's rallies? There was not very many people at Joe Biden's rallies. Those people that were at Joe Biden's rallies looked like maybe 20 people there. Donald Trump had almost a whole entire American country there for his. Not to mention he was throwing out a lot of good things of what he has accomplished in the debates. I've sat down and watched them, so I should know. I've sat down and watched the rallies. I should know. I watched both parties just to make sure and to watch everything that was going on. I did. I actually watched all of it, so I know what happened as well. The election results, I agree, was screwed up. People are so afraid to go and say, yeah, you was right, you know. People are afraid to go and actually comment or take the time and actually speak it and say, hey, this guy's right. This guy's right here. Or Donald Trump was right. They screwed up because they're afraid that the government will come down on them. The government can't come down on you for actually admitting the truth. The only thing that would happen to you is probably end up getting shot. That's about it. You get murdered and then they'd go to jail or prison. So that's my take on it. That's the 25th Amendment. That's Amendments 1, 2, 3, 4, and even 5 and 6. Okay? Oh, I'll go ahead and read number 8 for us here while I'm at it. Excessive fines, cruel and unusual punishment. You've heard of this one. Excessive bail shall not be required, meaning $15 million, nor excessive fines imposed. If you pay $100,000, you can be scot-free. No. Nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted, meaning if you are in a home with a police officer and he walks in and starts beating on you for no fucking reason, that's cruel and unusual punishment, and that's finable by law. That is literally going to cost you your job. So just keep updated with what's going on in this country and keep up with them Constitution amendments. Have those right there. 1, 2, 5, 6, 8, and that 25th. And number 4. You want to keep number 4. You want to have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 25th in mind. Because a lot of that is what's happening with this world. And not just with the election either, but with children's services, with police officers, with everybody who thinks that they're better than above the law. They're not. And it even states it in there. I don't remember exactly where in the Constitution, but it states no man is above the law. Not even that of the law. They are not above it. A police officer is not above the law just because he's wearing a badge. An FBI member is not above the law just because he's wearing a badge. They are still citizens of the United States. Therefore, they have to abide by these rules that the Constitution has made. Okay? So you got any comments, you got any questions, put them on here. Shoot them up. Let me see them. I'll read them. I'll come back at you. I'll reply. Give me some likes, some subscribes. That'd be great. I'd appreciate it. Also, if you could do me a favor, I've got a radio show I'd like for you guys to check out. And it's called DamianRadio.airtime.pro, and that will be in the description as well. Okay, so I'll put that back into the description when I get done here. It'll be in the description. The link will. And And also go check out my podcasts. Those will also be in the description as well. So thank you for your time. Have a good evening.